Hey guys! Welcome back to my channel. I'ma keep this short, so just check out the description box below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Rin, I told you, we're not going. But you promised. Groaning, Atsumu woke up to the sound of his brother and his brother's boyfriend's voice. They seemed to be arguing over something. It's nothing new, they both argued most of the time, but at the moment, it seemed pretty serious. The voices only grew louder as Atsumu made his way down the living room. No, we won't go, Rin, that's final. But everything is already set. Why are you backing out on the last minute? There's no way Atsumu would agree to go to Tokyo after what happened. What? But it's not even. No. What the hell are they arguing about? Osamu sighed deeply before saying in a softer tone, Baby, I'm sorry, but I don't want Atsumu to get hurt again. I'm really sorry. Why the hell am I included? Atsumu thought to himself. The curiosity was eating him alive, but he decided to listen for a little longer. Hey, Samu, I'm sorry too. It's just that I was really looking forward to going to Tokyo, and I'm sorry. Atsumu could hear the disappointment in Suna's voice. They probably made plans long before what happened with him and Sakusa, and he didn't want to be the reason why they'd have to cancel. Atsumu didn't want to be a burden. Let's go to Tokyo. The two were visibly startled at the sound of Atsumu's voice as they snapped their heads toward him, both looking like a deer caught in headlights. Atsumu, let's go to Tokyo. Oh, don't give me that look. You both were basically yelling at each other. How do you expect me to sleep? The faux blonde rolled his eyes and casually grabbed a toast before sitting down to eat. We're not going to Tokyo. Why? Because Sakusa lives there? Atsumu scoffed, but deep down, he knew that it affected him. He didn't want to suddenly bump into Sakusa after what happened. It would be too embarrassing for him. Atsu, what time will we go? The lovers only stared at each other, as if wordlessly arguing through their eyes before agreeing to go, although Osamu was hesitant. The show begins at 6 p.m. so we leave at. Suna glanced at his watch. 1 p.m. That's 2 hours from now. Atsumu, we don't have to go. All right then, it's settled. I'll change ahead so we can leave as soon as possible. I'll be in my room. With that, Atsumu went back to his room. He stared at his phone for a while, debating whether he should check Sakusa's messages or not. What should I do? He opened his drawer and saw the scarf lying there. He picked it up and brought it closer to his nose, inhaling Sakusa's scent that lingered on the fabric. It still smells like him. A lone tear escaped the faux blonde's eye before he wiped it away. He was still as confused and broken as ever, but somehow the breather he had yesterday at the park helped him ease his mind. I'll be fine. It'll all be fine. Long after, the trio arrived at the station, waiting for their train. Osamu then excused himself to get food, leaving his boyfriend and twin alone. Hey, you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Why ask? You know you can't lie to me, Atsumu. I'm nervous, but I'm fine, I guess. They both sat in silence before Atsumu said, his voice audibly breaking. Sakusa sent me messages. I didn't check them yet. What should I do, Suna? If it were you and Samu, what would you do? Should I ignore him? Cut ties with him? I'm so confused, Suna. That's kind of a hard question. We don't really hide our feelings, you know, but if I were you, I'd probably walk away. Walk away? Why? Because it hurts. It hurts more than it should, and I guess I don't want that for myself. But you and Samu hurt each other sometimes too. That's part of the relationship. True. I sometimes hurt him, and he sometimes hurts me. But think about it, Atsumu. You've given too much to Sakusa. Do you remember working multiple jobs just to earn enough money to spend it all on him? Or the time when you chose to decline your job promotion because you didn't want to leave the country? My point is, Samu and I fight, and yes, it's a part of the relationship, but don't forget yourself too. You give love and you take love. It has to go both ways. What has Sakusa ever done for you? Atsumu unconsciously fidgeted on his fingers while staring blankly at the floor. Well, he stayed up with me when I had to finish my papers for work so I wouldn't fall asleep, but I did anyway, so he ended up finishing my work instead. When you and Samu went on a vacation for your anniversary, I caught a cold and got so sick, so he took care of me even though he is a big-ass germaphobe. He'd sing me to sleep when my insomnia was acting up, and he always tries his best to stay up even when he was exhausted. By now, tears fell down his face as he tried to recall the countless times SakuAtsu has expressed his love for him. He'd look at me like I was the most beautiful thing in the world even when my hair's a mess and big ugly bags are under my eyes. When I got so drunk he drove all the way from Tokyo to take care of me and… Oh my god, Suna! His eyes widened upon his realization as he stared at Suna, who had a small grin at the corner of his lips. He loves me, doesn't he? Suna shrugged, but the grin was still etched perfectly on his lips. I don't know, Sumo. You better ask him. But I already asked him and he said no. Like I said, Samu and I worked out because we don't really hide our feelings. Think about that. Osamu arrived just in time as the train. Greeting him, Suna got up and intertwined his arm around his boyfriend's as they walked in the train together. Oi, Atsumu. Aren't you coming? Sorry. The faux blonde rushed to the train and sat across the lovers, still was dumbstruck at what he realized. Could it be that SakuAtsu was only hiding his true feelings towards him? But if he was, why? So many questions came rushing in his head, putting him in somewhat a trance. He clutched tightly on the phone in his pocket. He should have left it at home, but somehow, a voice inside him told him to take a peek. Just a single peek at his phone will change everything. What should I do? Hours went by and soon after, they arrived in Tokyo. Why are we in Fusa? 'Cause we're going to HAHAHA Park? You didn't say it was in HAHAHA Park. Oh right. I must have forgotten. Sorry, my bad. We don't have to go if you don't want to, though. Let's just go somewhere else? No, it's okay. I was just startled. Let's go. Just how unlucky was he? Of all places in Tokyo, the event was at HAHAHA Park. Atsumu always wanted to go to the park to see fireflies with SakuAtsu, but there were no fireflies in winter. It was cold and gloomy and there were no fireflies to light up the dark. True enough, the park didn't have that usual romantic glow. Instead it was gloomy and dark, he could barely see the view clearly. Hey, why aren't there lights here, Sam? No one was there when he turned around. No Osamu, no Suna, nothing. What the hell? Ha, so funny, Samu, you can go out now. Suna? He looked around but there wasn't anyone there. He was left alone in the dark and no one was answering. Oi, seriously, where are you? As if on cue, the lights went on and Atsumu was greeted by the most beautiful view he has ever seen. Are those fireflies? Under the gray sky, bright lights illumine the dark. The rough winter wind blew against his skin, but the radiant light seemed to warm his insides. It was beautiful. Breathtaking. Beautiful. He was so busy admiring the lights that he was startled when he heard the loud music and the ever so familiar voice that kept him company at night. Atsumu. I know I'm not good with words, but please hear this heart out. Omi?
I love you, but I don't really show you. I'd call you, but only if you want me to. Oh, don't you let it stop. Oh, I won't let it happen, baby. I will never stop, but only if you listen to me. Come inside of my heart if you're looking for answers. Look at the stars, go a little bit faster. Come inside of my heart if you're looking for answers. Look at the stars, go a little bit faster. Oh baby, forgive me if I hurt you. Come save me, 'cause you're the only one for me. Oh, don't you let it stop. Oh, I won't let it happen. really show you. Come inside of my heart if you're looking for answers. Look at the stars, go a little bit faster. Come inside of my heart if you're looking for answers. Look at the stars, go a little bit faster.
Tears streamed down Atsumo's face as he stood there in awe in front of the man he loved who sang so passionately. Despite the tears that blurred his vision, his eyes never left SakuAtsu. It seemed like he couldn't take his eyes off him. He was so afraid that if he looked away, even for just the slightest second, all these might disappear. He watched as SakuAtsu made his way towards him with a small smile on his face and eyes that were filled with so much love and admiration. Hey, Atsumu. Baby. You texted me. I took a glimpse while I was at the train. You called me baby. The dark-haired male chuckled as he slowly caressed his lover's face, wiping the tears away with his thumb. You are a baby. You're a crybaby. And whose fault is that? Who's the one who made me cry, huh? He said in between sobs as he glared at the man in front of him. On the other hand, SakuAtsu visibly tensed up at the mention of him hurting Atsumu. His eyes softened as he pulled Atsumu closer, leaning his forehead against his while cupping his face. I'm so sorry, Atsumu, for hurting you. I'm such an ass for what I did and You're so pure, always so positive and happy. You're always so kind to people but you're also a self-centered ass sometimes. Atsumu couldn't help but laugh at his attempt to throw a joke to lighten up the mood. He then rubbed the tip of his nose against SakuAtsu, giving him an Eskimo kiss before pulling away. What I'm trying to say is that I don't deserve you. But just because I don't deserve you now doesn't mean I won't try, right? I want to be the one you'll begin and end the day with. Every morning and every night. I want to be the one who'll comfort you when you're down. The one who stays up late with you when you're pulling an all-nighter. I want to take care of you when you get sick or even when you're not sick. Yeah, I'll take care of you. We'll go see the fireflies that you love so much every spring for every year and night. The faux blonde chuckled. He's never seen SakuAtsu this nervous before, to the point where he's talking this much. He cupped SakuAtsu's face to calm him down. Is this a marriage proposal? It feels like it is. SakuAtsu chuckled as he pressed Atsumu's hand closer to his cheek. I actually don't know. I just want to let you know how I truly feel about you. I've been loving you so long and, say that again. I just want to tell you how. No, not that. Say it. Tell me you love me. The confusion on his face turned into a soft, gentle smile as he gazed into his lover's eyes. I love you. I've been loving you for quite some time now and I just want you to know that I love you, Atsumu-miya. I love you too, Omi. With that, SakuAtsu bent lower to meet Atsumu's lips, giving him a soft and gentle kiss to seal the unspoken promise they made for each other. Truly, Atsumu hated the winter. It was gloomy, dark, and cold. Just like how he felt a few years back as he tried to hold back his feelings towards SakuAtsu. But right now, right at this moment, he fell in love with winter. He fell in love because of the fairy lights that resembled the fireflies, dancing and twinkling over the winter snow. He fell in love because of the music and the sound of his lover's voice that filled tears in his eyes. And most especially, he fell in love once again with SakuAtsu Kiyomi, the love of his life. Those things were like his fireflies, glowing and warming the night skies, but unlike the fireflies, their glow and warmth would never cease to shine. Samu, move. Suna whispered, trying to push Osamu away as he snapped pictures of the couple in every possible angle he could manage. SHHH, they'll see us. The trio silently hid under the bush a few meters away from SakuAtsu and Atsumu just to make sure things went according to plan, and of course to witness the romantic exchange between the two. They're finally together, huh? Took them long enough. Oh, by the way, thanks for the help. I don't know how he managed to convince you both, but thank you. Nah, how can you say no when a germaphobe kneels down your dirty floor just so he can have my brother back? The two laughed, earning a glare from Suna. SHHH. The three froze instantly when they heard Atsumu from the distance. Do you hear that, Omi? Must be the squirrels? Let's go somewhere else, yeah. SakuAtsu sheepishly laughed as he tried to drag Atsumu away from the trio who were holding their breaths just so they won't get caught. Alright, but I wonder where Samu and Suna are. Once they were far enough, the trio burst out laughing at SakuAtsu's poor excuse. Yes, blame it on the innocent squirrels. Nevertheless, it was certainly a night to remember.